All right, everybody. I'm going to make a quick video on. I'm going to throw in some futures commodity action on this. Friend of mine. This was from a friend of mine, Mr. David Frisch. Wanted to look at live cattle futures on a weekly chart. Um, I put up Larry Williams target shooter on it. That's giving an estimate down action somewhere around 161 to 157. That would line up with support right over here also on this zone around January 20 or the low of that. But if you look at seasonality, let's see if we can drag this over. For the most part, it looks, it's choppy. You got 1 or 2 weeks up, 1 or 2 down, 1 or 2 up. So, but the main consensus for seasonality wise, that's this blue line here, looks like a top somewhere around February 23rd that week. That'd be a Friday, I think. And then it starts selling off, or at least goes down. This doesn't measure the size of the move. It just tells you short-term cycle swing points. Looks like it goes down to about May 3rd seasonally, and then you get another hot spot right here from May 3rd to August 9th. Looks like that'd be your sweet spot for live cattle, but should be mostly up. Looks like. You are in a downtrend right now. You need to break that. You need to get out of that. Let's see. Yeah, I could look at daily, but so we come over here to on a daily on live cattle. You're coming up right against support zone right at 173.70. Theory is you should bounce off of this. It may retrace, could come back up here, bottom of the cloud, 191. May top back out your previous high. This might be resistance right here at the low point, 181.50. You probably got 181.78. You got another one right here, 177.71. So it's got to get through these points right here, these resistance points. 180, 180. Yeah, it's got to get above that. You need it to reverse first. Right now, it's showing you have money flow right here. It's oversold compared to this value is compared to gold right here. GLD is what he uses. That's how he tells whether something's overbought or oversold. That's way up here. Obviously, you're overvalued. It sold off, made your 9 count, got your buy perfection, rallied, sold back off. But and this could go down to a 9 count. So it could go sideways for another 4 days, and then get your rally. Maybe sometime next week. That's what I would guess. Now, if you look at it on a weekly chart, it's I call this a -6. That's 6 weeks of down. Actually more than that, but that says it could come down to 171.82 and a half. My guess, it probably bounced off the top of this cloud unless you've got some massive selling. But according to your commercial COT commitment to trader index, that's Larry Williams indicator, your commercials are still heavily buying, as well as your small speculators. Your green line and your red line is your large commercial money. The blue line is the hedge funds mostly. So that tells me they're buying the whole way down. They're going to buy. Looks like you got a bottom point on the seasonality coming up next week, about November 17th. I believe that's next Friday. So that could be, you might have a little more down action next week. And I'm anticipating it to bounce the week of Thanksgiving, probably. That I would say November. I guess the markets will open. I think it's 9:30 Eastern time on the cattle market, but that's what I'm looking at. That's what I've learned from one of the best in the industry. His name is Larry R. Williams. He's got almost 61 years experience. And this thing is pretty much tells you exactly when to buy, exactly when to sell. You can come over here and go on a daily. He's got his Williams will stop indicator, and that right there tells you, as long as that's just kind of light blue line, a cyan color. I call it kind of electric blue cyan color. But as long as your price action is below that, you really don't want to be a buyer. You can see every time it's got above it, you've rallied. But once it closes below it, you go down for a while. I mean, it could just be a short decline, but when it broke down right here on this bar right here on October 23rd, I mean, you had a little rally, a relief rally off of that, but pretty much started back down on November 3rd, pretty much mostly down since then. So that's, daily. It's got some work to do daily to get back in the black, but on a weekly chart, the commercial money's still in it. I've always heard you can't bet against the smart money or you're going to lose 99% of the time. But Larry does say the small speculator, the green line, that's your small cattle buyers, maybe your cattle brokers or cattle traders. They tend to get it right along with the commercial money on live cattle. That's one of the only markets where the small speculator is usually right. But so usually you want to bet against your hedge fund money. They're selling. They've been selling since September 22nd. So you want to bet against them, and you want to bet with your commercial money, and your small speculator, your green line and your red line need to be above this 74. And as long as that's set up like that, you're in a pretty good setup. Now your value on a weekly basis compared to gold is getting oversold. So that's a decent price down here. It's a decent place to buy, I think, off of this. His pinch punch indicator shows right here a reversal point. When this gets above 60 on a weekly basis, that's telling you better look out. And sure enough, you got a trend change right here. When this thing went red right there, that's telling you party's over pretty much. And sure enough, it was for the most part. You get your small bounces, but so that's what I'm looking at. Now, if you go to gold, gold is set up for a nice rally, I think, on a daily chart at least. The weekly, you had your accumulation over here with your commercial money up till October 13th, looked like, and so now they're selling. I mean, they haven't got below this red lines here. When you get below, what is this, like 15, I think, or 30? When you get below that, that's when you're getting definitely into a short sell environment. Seasonality does show gold coming down till December 15th, but this is December weekly gold futures. You're still above your will stop on a weekly basis, so that's bullish. If you come over here to your daily on gold, pull a CME, go to GC gold continuous. That's weekly. We need a day chart on that. You got a perfect 9 count by perfection triangle set up on Friday. I'd almost bet a large amount of money that you get a bounce off of gold sometime early next week, most likely. Probably Monday, Tuesday at the latest. Looks pretty good to me on a setup. Let me see the 4 hour. You got a 13 count on the 4 hour. It's already started bouncing at the end of Friday, the last 4 hours. You pull a 60-minute. You got a perfect 9, come down to an 8. Last hour of the day was bouncing. So I think it's set up to bounce on Monday, more than likely. You got your money flow came in right here. It's oversold on a 1 hour basis. I believe it's oversold on a 4 hour basis also. Not quite. Definitely coming up there. At 13 is screaming time to buy on gold. So I'd buy GLD is what I'd do. If you're going to trade it on a stockbroker, it's still set up on a 9 count. That's on a 4 hour chart. Daily should be about the same. It's on an 8. So you might get one more day somewhere around this 179.33. That's where I'd bid it if I was going to throw in a standing bid on it. See what happens. I mean, not financial advice, but none of this is financial advice. This is all just for education, entertainment purposes. But wheat's been set up for quite a while. Especially, let's see, if we go to the futures. Look here, perfect 913 the week of September 24th. I bought in, I think, somewhere 1 or 2 weeks after this. It went up for like a week and then just kind of went sideways and down. I lost faith in it. You've got a down week last week. It's not quite set up on your futures. I don't know if I've got a futures. Here we go. Here's wheat right here. So you see your red line is not above 74 yet for the commercials as of this week or last week price action. So technically till this gets above that, I don't. And it looks like about the week of November 24th. That'd be Thanksgiving week, I guess. You got pretty good odds after that of going up until possibly March 1st. Let you see this uptrending. This little period right here looks really good. That's a sweet spot. And after that, you got mostly down after March 1st. But keep an eye on that. Let's see. What else did we have on the gold, wheat? The Dow Jones. Be your large cap market if you're doing a 401k or something. Commercial money is heavily invested in the Dow Jones right now. Dow Jones December futures, they're still extremely long. It's already started to rally on the futures for the last 2 weeks. You've had up action. If you come over here to the, let's see, what would that be? What is it? YM. Yeah, pull YM on this. Let's see, what are we on a daily? Put it on Heikinashi. That's hit a 7, kind of going sideways, cooling off. Daily, you're overbought a little bit, so you might get a small correction. Maybe early next week, probably pull back, bounce off this 33,500 zone, maybe. I don't know. You can put a Fibonacci on it. Let me see. What would that be? I like start on the 1 bar, go to the high of the move. It's already rallied though. You're starting another 1 count. You may have missed your opportunity. It bounced off this 9 simple moving out of this green line right here. It bounced off of that perfectly on Friday. That might have been your opportunity to get in, but if you missed it, it could still double dip. So far, you broke out of this. Let's see. I thought I had that marked right there. This 34,305 could retest that on Monday, most likely. It needs to hold above that. If it doesn't, you may break down and retest this anywhere from this 33.8 to 33,500. Might be a decent time to buy in. Seasonality wise, let's see, where's your YM right there? Yeah, seasonality, you're in a good time of year. October 13th through May 25th is actually October 25th through May 25th is the best time to buy in. But as far as stock wise. I mean, that's when you had the most amount of gains and the least amount of black swan events, not counting COVID. I mean, I think it still worked even during COVID. Um, I mean, you could pull up the price action, I guess. It'd take a while to get to it, probably, but here's COVID. All right, so yeah, right here was February 21st. The week of that went down, came all the way down till the week of. It actually bounced the week of March 27th. That was the Friday. Rally, rally, rally. Let's see where to get back above this. It almost got it right there in September. So technically, it didn't work. The year 2020. If you'd have sold May 25th, you got most of your money back. Let's see, there's 22nd. Here's May 29th, there, right there. So you would have got what, half your money back, maybe 2/3. Um, so I mean, and if you bought in October, let's see, where's October? October 25th, right there. So yeah, that's around 26.5 was the low. And then where's May? Right here, May 25th, right there. 25,125. So you lost a little money, I think, the year of COVID. If you bought in, didn't work. Didn't work during COVID. I mean, you could have bought this low if you had a dollar cost averaged on the way down off of COVID every week. Um, Held it long term. You come out looking like a rock star. But I mean, the thing went up pretty much for a year and a half straight up. That was when the Fed was buying corporate bonds and pumping money and giving out corporate welfare left and right to prop the stock market up. If they didn't, and I have no doubt we'd be in a Great Depression right now. But um, I get it. I mean, they're devaluing our dollar. It creates overnight inflation, but they got to do what they got to do, or we go through a Great Depression every time we get some kind of hiccup in the economy. You go through any kind of recession, and they don't print money. From what I understand, it's their only option. They got to go to zero on interest rates or close to it, and they got to print money to stimulate the economy. If they don't, you go through a Great Depression, and people starve and die. That's pretty much what you're dealing with now. So we're addicted to cheap money and cheap credit. So I don't know any other. I'm not a global economist, so that's way above my head. I just try to make money from it. I can tell you right now, seasonality wise, you're in a sweet spot at least until December 8th. Usually December 10th, the week of right around December 10th, the market usually pulls back nearly every year. Anyway, probably till that show is kind of sideways and choppy on a weekly basis till about March. What is that? March 22nd. The week of March 22nd, and then you get a pretty good little rally till April 19th. So that's what I'd do. I'd play this up cycle until December 10th. Probably get out and just wait till March 22nd, buy back in somewhere around that Monday or the Friday before March 22nd. That's what I'd do. Take it for a ride, see if you make some money till April 19th. Looks like a pretty good sweet spot. I probably need to write this down, take my own advice, because a lot of times I see things, it's clear as mud, but, a lot of times I don't write it down and I forget to do it. I get busy. I work a lot of nights, try to sleep during the day, and you wake up before you know it, the market's closed and it's Friday afternoon. You missed opportunity of a lifetime to try to make money. But another thing I'm testing out, this really worked awesome on crypto. I have a feeling it works on stock market too. If you come over here to the Russell, where's Russell? Let's go Russell 1000 because I tried to do the 3000 last night and it searched for like a half hour. I didn't get the progress thing showing up. There was one of these showed up. So I'm looking for a Russell weekly buy perfection. We got it, bro. I can't get these to close out for some reason. There we go. I think it's THC was set up pretty good off a weekly. I got no idea. Some kind of tenant healthcare corp, I guess. I don't know if they got earnings or what they got going on, but not bad. You're off a 9 perfection. You got your triangle. That looks pretty good to me. Daily, you may have already had a slight. No, it didn't bounce yet. You're on a 1-2 bar down. That's not perfect. Would have been better buying over here October 12th, but you had your money flow and you had it oversold. Right now, you're slightly overvalued on a daily basis, but I don't know. I thought that was set up a little better than it was. How about RCM? It's on a 5. Could get 4 more days of down. ALNY. No, I don't like that. There you go. Here's a 1 bar up. That might work. How about LSCC, Lattice Semiconductors? I don't know how good semiconductors are doing, but and then you got some kind of pharmaceutical company that's on a 4 bar selling off this flag pattern. It could rally. It's a nice flag. You got a gap right here that might fill, but so it could come down and fill this gap zone. Let me turn this Ichimoku off. How do you turn that off? Get rid of you so I can see what's going on. Yeah, that's definitely a gap that could fill down to the downside. But if this breaks out above this 8650, it could be off to the races for a pretty good move. But I would go with this LSCC if I had gun to the head, had to buy something. That one's right up against your will stop 56.94, and it closed at 56.95. So that ideally, that's not a real strong close. That needs to get above this 57.74 on Monday. Anything above that, I'd probably buy it, take it for a ride. Could get at least 8-9 day rally out of it. Could fill this gap right here. At the bare minimum, you could go to 66.17 pretty easily. You might have some resistance around 63.53, but that's still a decent 7-point move. I mean, that's not bad. Depending on how much money you bet, or you could play options on it. Let's see. Am I forgetting anything? Let me see. We got Dow, wheat, gold, and live cattle. Yeah, I think we're pretty much covered everything on that. Crypto wise, let's see. I had a crypto. Where's my crypto scan that I did earlier? I did a 1 bar price bar flip up. So you want a daily, something on a daily going up for the day, getting a 1 count, and Maker was probably about the best one. It's actually down for the day now. It was up earlier, so he's gonna make a liar out of me. The 4 hour, that's slightly down, I think. It's still barely up, 0.08%, but you're rallying. But I think on the 60, it was already topped out. Yeah, it hit a 9 count. I think right here off of this 10 o'clock hour. I think that may be Central Time. I'm not sure on this one. Let me see. Let me go to portfolio. Where's Maker at? MKR. Go to 4 hour. What we got? Yeah, it topped out around actually 6 o'clock on Thursday. I mean, it's rallied since, but go to 1 hour. Yeah, pretty much topped out. Yeah, 10 o'clock this morning, Saturday morning. Man, I had this thing at 1227.70. Sold it, I think, on a 9 count on the daily. Could have made a killing off of this thing. I should have made a killing. I mean, I made some money, but I left a lot of money on the table. I think I sold it right here. Yeah, that'd been about right. September. I don't know how I got that decent entry. Yeah, so I held it probably about 6 days. I think I sold it right here on this 9 bar somewhere, maybe this 8 bar. Probably sold it right here at 1346. Be my guess. Gave up. I don't know what percent that is. That's a pretty good chunk of change. Let's do a price. The price, if you got the high, which nobody did, yeah, it's 21% that I left on the table. At least 16% on a $5,000 bet. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good chunk of change. But what else? Oh, I was going to show on the Commitment to Trader report. And now you have to log into this. I don't know why, but I don't do that. Don't go to that. Yeah, it's going to go to that. I hit the wrong button. Let's come over here. I want to go to. This is going to show agriculture. Go to livestock, live cattle. Go to producer. And you can see the commercial money's been buying since September 19th. They've been accumulating their position. This net position, the yellow line. So that's why you had the big spike in cattle. Now, that's kind of cooled off for a little while, but the short sell, they've reduced their short sell positions pretty much the last 2 to 3 weeks in a row. Their long position, they increased their long position last week. Well, that was October 31st. So I think that's a week behind. Where's October? How do you get to October, bro? I'm going to go up one. There we go. October. That was a Tuesday. Yeah. Not sure why that didn't report Friday's price action. That alone right there. So Larry Williams indicators are already paying for themselves because now you're a week behind the data that the public has access to. I don't like that. I don't know when they changed this. Now you got to start logging in, and they're not even updating their current week. That's not cool, but whatever. I don't know why they changed that, but you may have to pay a subscription fee, or I don't know what you got to do. But I'm already paying enough between the chart packages and the education. I'll definitely spend all of my budget that I'm going to spend. So I'm also using another indicator. I'm testing it out, just seeing if it works. It's called the Order Block Finder. This is on TradingView.com. If you get the Pro package, you can do, I don't know, like 21 indicators or something. I use a 4 simple moving average. I use an 18 and I use a 9 simple moving average. My 4 is my yellow line here. The green is the 9, and the 18 is this light blue line. Let me zoom that in so you can see it better. But this order block finder, though, is kind of interesting. It's supposed to kind of tell you where the most of your price action is for support, to try to find, where your price might bounce off of, if it's coming down or if it's going up, where it might top out at. And man, it nailed it. Seems like shorter time frame it works better, like on a 4-hour chart, I've noticed. But literally it tells you on this candlestick. Now I haven't ever seen one go live where it actually tells you, live time when to buy. I mean, it missed it right here. It didn't print one. I don't know what kind of setup you need to get this indicator. Probably some kind of bounce, looks like. And I don't